All right, we're in round three. We have a resource heavy hand, land heavy hand rather, and not a big fan of it, but we're going to keep it and hope we can draw well. All right, I would consider that drawing well. Very nice. So now we get to go Bondkin with Feet of Resistance, Protection. Ooh, Siege Rhino was probably one of the best draws I think I could have gotten, since it's not only an insane card, but we have the colors to play it. All right. Well, I think we are going to, well, interesting. I think we just swing with our Bondkin, then drop the Watcher of the Roost. Certainly willing to make this trade, by the way. Alright, so now we just morph this. If he has removal for our morph, it wouldn't strike me like he would, but if he does, we still get to unmorph for some life gain, revealing the Siege Rhino, which we're going to promptly play anyway. Is he mono green beats? That would be pretty cool. A deck like that, I could see a lot of upside to spells like Awaken the Bear, which I think he's probably going to play here. But we're at least going to force him to do it. So this isn't the safest line, but it does kind of eat up his turn. He can play Awaken the Bear. We're going to reveal Siege Rhino because we're playing it. He can play Awaken the Bear or Dragon Scale Boon. And it's certainly good, but not the end-all be-all. Yeah, pretty satisfied with that trade. Morph on his side, okay. So I think we're just going to swing into the morph and drop our Siege Rhino. I don't mind trading my Bondkin for his morph. Okay. Certainly satisfied with that. We'll get a Siege Rhino out there who's a pretty big threat right now. I certainly would like to be able to leave Feet of Resistance open to protect Siege Rhino, but considering our opponent has just shown us blue-green so far, I'm not as concerned. Hooting Mandrills, certainly not much of a threat at the moment. Alright, so I guess we just get in there, drop a Kieran and pass. I guess actually, kind of want to play around the Savage Punch, because Savage Punch is going to be really good for him here. So I do want to play the Kieran though. I think I'm going to pass. This is an interesting play. I could have played Kieran there, but like I said, Savage Punch would be pretty brutal, and I would like to be able to stop that spell if at all possible, or a Swift Kick even. Actually, Swift Kick would be the most brutal against him, since it would eat up his Swift Kick. We'd give our guy protection from green, which would still allow the Swift Kick to resolve, I believe. But our guy would be the only one that dealt damage. This would be a good spot for Dragon Scale Boon. We are certainly far ahead on the life race, though, so not overly concerned. He still has to come up with a pretty good solution for that Siege Rhino. No plays. Interesting. All right, there's our second white source, which is just perfect in this spot. So we get in with Rhino. We'll see what he's got. No plays. All right, drop the Kieran and then pass. Now we've got Feet of Resistance up, and I'm feeling pretty safe. Feed the clan. All right. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised by Feed the Clan. I'm very surprised by that. I don't think it's a very good spell. Master the way on our thing. Well, you know what? That's worthy of a feat of resistance for a couple reasons. Our guy has flying and vigilance, first and foremost, but more importantly, stopping the Master the way also stops him from drawing a card. So it is effectively a counterspell that buffs my evasive creature, and he's not in a very good position to race still. 2 cards remaining in his hand. We're dishing out a lot of damage per turn. Not the ideal draw there, but we're still pretty far ahead on the board. All right, he did have the Savage Punch, which to me it doesn't make any sense at all that he would do that on the flyer. Just make much more sense to do it on the bigger threat, but certainly unfortunate, but we have to draw some gas now, I think. Well, land is a pretty bad draw, unfortunately, so now we're not really winning the race, and I'm not feeling as confident as I formerly was, unfortunately. But I guess we just slow down the Trampler and pass. So, not too thrilled with the last couple draws. We went from extremely winning the game to in a bad board state pretty quickly, but really goes to show you how important drawing well in Magic is. So, looks like he's playing a Treasure Cruise, which is one of the best cards in the format, in my opinion. So, that's also quite terrible for us, but I can do nothing but sit back and accept our fate, unfortunately. So we're looking for a Death Frenzy, which would be quite good. Yeah, Death Frenzy. I think that's the ticket here. We also can just leave our Siege Rhino back. Yeah, Death Frenzy would have been insane. Land draw, on the other hand, is quite bad. So I don't want to swing. He has just a good double block, so we'll chill. We're in a pretty bad place now, unfortunately. The last 3 turns drawing lands was really, I think, all that could have happened to his 3 spells to put us in the position that we are in now. But basically, we just have to actually draw non-land spells, and I think we'll be right back in this. There you go. That definitely counts. So we'll get that guy out there and pass. He didn't outlast either, which is interesting. I'm guessing because he didn't really have a good 2-block otherwise there. He does have to outlast here, I think, to block the Scavenger, unless that guy's something I can't deal with. We still have quite a bit of work cut out for us here, since our opponent has a very well-developed board state and a morph creature that I have no idea what it is. So if this is the 5/5 Trampler, and he attacks with everything, can I survive? I can block this, I can block this, and I would take 5, 8, 10. So if this is the 5/5 Trampler, which I have a feeling it likely is, we're not dead. However, if it is another Woolly Loxodon, we are definitely dead. We're Xaxes lethal, so we'll just have to see. All right, that's a good sign of him not attacking, I would think. All right, so that's the 5/5 Trampler is my guess, which makes me want to double block it. What happens if I don't double block it? If I don't double block it, I'm pretty much just dead, aren't I? If I do block it, if I double block it, which one is he going to kill? He likely kills the Siege Rhino. How good is Siege Rhino in this spot? It does have Trample. He could double block. trying to think what I can draw that helps me decide what I want to do. If I draw Dragon Scale Boon, if I draw Death Frenzy, if I draw Abzan Charm, I'm almost positive this is a 5/5 Trampler, so I really do have to think about this. I really do have to think about this. Do I want to double block? He kills whatever one he cares about less. We're in top deck mode. He's got a more developed board state. I feel like our best shots of winning are just taking it. I know that seems incorrect, but if we draw a Death Frenzy, we can do some pretty insane things here. I'm pretty confident it's a 5/5 Trampler. Okay, so it's exactly what I thought it was. I still don't know if I was supposed to trade there or not. I feel like well, that was a horrible draw and unfortunate. So now we're just dead, but I still think we would have been dead either way you look at it. So we're definitely getting punished this draft by flooding. I do have to accept it. It's frustrating. It does make me frustrated, but I'm gonna just take it and accept it as a part of Magic that flooding does in fact happen with 18 land decks. Just swung with one, so now we'll just double block, which at this point would have been better served doing it last turn. Any sort of trick, and well, he could have swung with everything and killed us. I don't know why he didn't, but it's okay. So, unfortunate draws. We were very, very far ahead in the beginning, and then we fell so far behind that it's actually obscene. So, not thrilled about how this game has progressed. But these things do happen, as I love to say, over and over and over and over again. So we're really just looking for any sort of spell this whole time. He could kill us. I really don't understand why he's not. It's just not a lot of road to recovery. Scavenger doesn't do it, but whatever, I'll play it anyway because it doesn't matter. Very unhappy with how this game has played out. Finally decided to do Alpha Strike. I'm not sure why he waited so long, but okay, so very sad, very disappointed. We'll have to move into game 2 and 3, hopefully, and do some work. So we're playing against Teamer. Anything I want to do differently against it? Could do a Rite of the Serpent for his bigger guys. He does have the Outlast guys, so perhaps Rite of the Serpent is better against him. What's bad against him? No idea. I think everything is perfectly acceptably good against him. Do I want to bring a Rite of the Serpent for something? Not really. I think we just play again and hope that we can draw better and not get flooded. Alright, we'll play first. See what we got here. Well, not the best hand without a green source, but we're going to keep it. We're at least busy for the next few turns and eventually have a Merrick Nightblade. And we can at least see what we have to deal with here. Well, I'm going to have to play a land, I guess, to play that. So we'll despise him. We'll see some information. Probably write down what we want. All right, Mandrills and a Loxodon. So I guess the choice is the Mandrills since he can play that a little more cheaply. So I guess we'll let him keep the Loxodon. Well, we'll just remember a Woolly Loxodon, I guess. So we'll take out the Mandrills. You might be thinking that's not correct since he's going to be able to play the Loxodon, but my thinking is it's going to take him a while for that Loxodon to matter. So it's better to get rid of the Mandrills, which just becomes a cheaper threat if I get rid of his Loxodon. All right. Well, not staying busy, which is not ideal, but it's okay. All right. Siege Rhino is a good draw once we find a green source. All right, multiple morphs at this point is a bit troubling, but we just need a green source and we're in business. There it is. So now we've got that online. I think we just chill out. No need to outlast since we have feat of resistance if he's confident enough to attack with something. Because we are certainly confident enough to block and feat. So I'm hoping he attacks with confidence. There we go. All right. So we'll just block the new morph that he played, see if he unmorphs it. All right. This is absolutely perfect for us. So now we get to... Oh, wait. I guess that doesn't work, does it? Because it doesn't have protection. All right. Well, not perfect for us then. I take it back. I can give Death Touch, though. 2 for 2 him. He's got 3 cards left in hand. I guess 2 for 2 is not too bad. So this did not quite work out the way I was hoping, but it's still good enough. So we'll put a counter on him. We'll give him Death Touch. Doesn't matter. He's not going to unmorph it anyway. So I think we actually took out the one that's... Oh, well, somehow we managed to take out the one that was actually Willy Loxodon, interestingly enough. But let's drop the Siege Rhino now. So I didn't have to do that, but we got a Siege Rhino now, which is pretty good. And we can Abzan Charm if that morph is something I have to worry about. All right, so we'll take it. See if it's just... All right. No plays. Interesting. All right. So I guess we'll just bash in there. See what he's got. Could just Rite of the Serpent. I don't see a real need to do that yet. This is probably a Snowhorn Rider. Let's not do it until he finds his red source. If he finds his red source, I'm taking 5 damage for it. But if he doesn't find his red source and this is a Snowhorn Rider, he's left with a Gray Ogre that really doesn't do anything. And I would rather have my removal. And he's not blocking, so... My thinking is that he just wanted to fool us into thinking it was something. So I'm leaving Abzan Charm open, just in case this is in fact a Snowhorn Rider. Dragon Scale Boon is quite good. Guess we just swing in, see what he's got. Still thinking it's a Snowhorn Rider. All right. All right, so he never managed to find his red source. It was a Snowhorn Rider. I think it was the correct... The way I played it was correct. Not Rite of the Serpenting it. Just made it so if he didn't draw a red source, he had a Gray Ogre that didn't do anything. So that worked out well for us. The Merrick Nightblade play was pretty interesting. It's pretty unusual that you play Feat just to give the Death Touch and no protection. So I didn't get to maximize the usage of Feat of Resistance, but I did get to trade a Willy Loxodon that he would have been able to flip and to become immense for a Merrick Nightblade and a Feat of Resistance. So overall, I feel like I likely got the better end of that trade, but That's up for debate. I might want this Rite of the Serpent. He did really show us some fatties, but he's also got cheap creatures too. So it's very difficult to say. I really like how the Despise played for us there. Thought it played great. Um, could play the Mastodon, which is a pretty great blocker against him, but could be better than the Pet. I still like that the Pet with pump effects like Boon or Charm is pretty insane. Hmm. Do I want this Rite of the Serpent? I really can't decide. I'm having a hard time coming up with what I'd want to bring it in for. Like, do I want to bring it in for a Skull Hunter? Maybe. Because Skull Hunter's not all that good. We're not very aggressive. It's pretty much just a little dude. But the problem with Rite of the Serpent, it is quite slow. It's so slow that it might end up costing me. I need all these creatures, I think. I guess I leave it the way it is. This is a great hand. This is probably, we don't have a black source, but this hand is still fantastic. We have 9 black sources in our deck. This is honestly probably one of the best hands that we've gotten to keep this whole draft, so I'm happy to see it. If we don't find a black source, it's not going to be that great of a hand, but ooh, well, what do you know? Found a black source, so we're on target now to just have a really nice turn progression and do some cool things. Very nice. So now there's another black source, so we'll drop that. We'll play our Bondkin and pass. Next turn we can leave up Charm, but I think we're much more likely just outlasting plus Scoured Barrens. That's going to give us a first striker. Alright, so he plays Morph. So now we're just going to be in Value Town. Ooh, well, change of plans. So now we're going to Outlast plus Despise. Why don't we just Despise first? See what we can nab from our opponent. See what kind of information we can get. It's an excellent hand on his part. So he's got Alpine Grizzly, which I'm not concerned about. Mandrills, which will be cheaper if I nab something. Pine Walker is presumably the best in his hand, since next turn he can morph that out and do some nasty things. So I think I'm going to take that. We're going to write down Grizzly. He's got a great hand, though. Very, very good. Very good hand on his part. But we've got a good hand, too, so I'm not, there's no lack of confidence on my end. So we're going to take the Pine Walker. Oh, I got to write down Become Immense. That is an important card to remember. Great hand, though, on his part. He does actually, now that I think about it, because he has no resources, the hand's not quite as good. But we're definitely going to take this Pine Walker. It does make his Mandrills cheaper, which is an issue, but we'll cross that road when we have to. For now, we're just going to Outlast and pass into Siege Rhino. He likely just plays an Alpine Grizzly, is my guess. He did draw a land off the top, which is the first step he needed. Long shot squad, okay. So, do I want to swing with the first striker now? Guess I could. Pretty confident I want to get that Siege Rhino out. So I think the play is swing with Bondkin and then play Rhino. Get a little bit offensive here. If he draws a land, he can cast Become Immense, so I'm going to have to take it if he plays a land and swings. But what the beauty is, I can play Abzan Charm at some point. Three of those? Three of this. Hey, beat it the first time. What's he worried about? Alright, so he has Become Immense mana, which means I'm not going to block here. As much as I'd love to, I have to leave up the Abzan Charm and find a great opportunity to use it. Oh, so he's just playing Mandrills. Okay. Well, I'm less concerned about that. So we're just going to confidently... Ooh, that was a beautiful draw. So now we just confidently swing into his army. because he has no profitable double blocks. Actually, yeah, I can double attack, can't I? Because if he blocks Mandrills that, I can just Abzan and pump, first strike it down, and if he double blocks, yeah, this is very good for us. He does not have a good block here that I can see. And we are dealing a lot of damage. And if he doesn't block anything, we're still in good shape. Yeah. This is going to be, ultimate, ultimate, ultimate blowout that we hoped he'd do. So this could not be any better for us. Really could not. This is just pure blowout. We kill everything. He's left with nothing. We have an army. That was brutal. So perfect situation that came up and that played out. Could not have played out better for us, honestly. So we still have some information. We know he's got an Alpine Grizzly and he just concedes. So awesome. We ended up going 2-1. That worked out. That could not have worked out any better for us. That Abzan Charm is just such a good card. Happy that we got 2 matches. We get to sell our Siege Rhino for a little bit of profit too. So we didn't end up too bad. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you for the next draft.